Right now this morning, why a bill in Madison would require police to check citizenship status of felony suspects and who would foot the bill. And surprising discovery, what a Minnesota man found while on top of Mount Kilimanjaro that reminded him of home.
Plus, a cool start this morning, turning mild as we get into the afternoon with a wintry mix coming in into the evening hours. More about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, February 5th. All right, so another chance of a wintry mix. Hopefully we can see some snow this time.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
I know, right? Well, this is going to begin as we go into with a slight chance as we go into the afternoon, but the bulk of this snow is really going to begin as we get into the evening commute and finishing that out. So we start off mild today, holding on to temperatures that are going to be in the 20s and the 30s today. We'll get into a 30 or so as we get locally here today. Plus, we'll also be picking up the snow and freezing rain, the freezing drizzle potential, as well as ice overnight tonight going into tomorrow with some fog also included in this. This is going to be widespread. Dry and cool as we go into this morning. We'll also be seeing cloudy skies come into the picture as well. We'll also turn it into a slight chance of snow potentially as we go through the mid to late afternoon hours. And then evening, we're looking at, and tonight, we're looking at more snow, ice, and fog potential moving in the forecast. And that wintry mix is going to be something else. You see the clouds right now holding on to at least partly to mostly cloudy skies, but they'll be on the increase. The winds are coming out of the northeast and continue to track westward, going right across the Mississippi and into Minnesota. We'll also see the wind gusts. You can see they'll be stirring up as we go through the day. At 7 a.m., you can see that continue to pick up. By the time we get into the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock for the mid-morning hours, these winds are up to near 40 miles per hour. Here's a look at the snow that's on the way right now. And as we take a quick peek here, we get into the wind chill tracker that's going to also bring in temperatures down a little bit later on as we get into it. And then eventually we get back into more of that snow that's in the process. Highs for today, you're going to be seeing at least from 22 to about 32 degrees. I'll come back and I'll give you a full forecast of what's going to happen.
All right, Art, we will check back in with you later. In a press conference with Prime Minister Netanyahu last night, President Trump announced he wants U.S. control of Gaza, saying his vision is to make it the Riviera of the Middle East. Amy Kiley reports.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip.
A day after that shocking statement, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's U.S. trip continues. Today, he's scheduled to meet with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. President Donald Trump says he isn't ruling out sending U.S. troops to secure American ownership of Gaza.
We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development.
Netanyahu says he's discussing Trump's plan. He says his aim is to eradicate Hamas and make Gaza secure for Israel.
Your willingness to think outside the box with fresh ideas will help us achieve all these goals.
As far as the Israelis are concerned, and specifically Netanyahu and his right-wing coalition, they just won the lottery.
More than 1 million Palestinians call Gaza home, and many plan to stay. But Trump suggests they leave and go to neighboring countries.
It's a non-starter for the Egyptians. It's a non-starter for the Jordanians. It deals and undermines their own national security.
Saudi Arabia is reaffirming its commitment to a Palestinian state. It says it won't normalize relations with Israel without one.
I feel that the Trump administration is going to come up against tough realities in the Middle East.
Republicans are largely declining to comment so far on Trump's idea for the U.S. to take over Gaza. Some Democrats are describing it with words like crazy, insane, and foolish. And the Trump administration planning federal workforce cuts. Federal employees have till Thursday, that's tomorrow, to accept a voluntary resignation package that would pay them through September. Two administration officials tell CNN those who decline face imminent layoffs. Labor unions are fighting the controversial plan, which workers first learned about via email last week. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s nomination to lead the Department of Health and Human Services was narrowly approved by the Senate Finance Committee. Committee members voting along party lines 14-13. The nomination now advances to the Senate floor. A confirmation vote could come as early as next week. And Trump's Director of National Intelligence nominee Tulsi Gabbard also approved yesterday. The Senate Intelligence Committee voted 9-8 in favor of advancing her nomination to the full Senate floor. A UW-Madison economics professor is joining President Trump's Council of Economic Advisors. Kim Rule is one of 3 economists on the council. He'll advise Trump on domestic and international economic policy while taking a leave from UW-Madison to serve the White House. Elon Musk and an ex-Trump advisor appear to be threatening federal funding to institutions using the word Lutheran, including the Gunderson Medical Foundation. In a post on X, Musk reposted Michael Flynn's post accusing these groups of using religion, specifically the word Lutheran, as money laundering operations. Musk says Doge is working to shut down payments to those organizations. Gunderson says it has no religious ties, stating, quote, "Any public funding we receive is through existing public programs approved through the legislative process and used to improve access to health care for our patients," end quote. FBI employees, meanwhile, suing after the Bureau shared details of 5,000 agents who worked January 6 cases with the Trump Justice Department. Trump appointees gave the acting director until Tuesday to turn over employee IDs, job titles, and investigative roles. While names were withheld, agents are still fearing possible retaliation. Cheryl Hubbard reports.
FBI employees who worked on the January 6th Capitol riot investigations under scrutiny. Tuesday, the FBI complied with a Justice Department demand, turning over information about thousands of agents and analysts.
What is happening here? First of all, it's horrendous what they're doing to this population of people who did nothing other than the work they were assigned, the lawful, appropriate, consistent with policy work they were assigned on the January 6 cases.
According to sources, details on more than 5,000 of the FBI's 38,000 employees was submitted to the DOJ. Many agents feared that could lead to them losing their jobs. The DOJ isn't commenting. Tuesday, a group of FBI employees sued the Justice Department to try and block the release of their information.
I think it's necessary for them to stand up and defend themselves, and this is the proper way to do that at this point in the process.
The lawsuit alleges the very act of compiling lists of persons who worked on matters that upset Donald Trump is retaliatory in nature, intended to intimidate FBI agents and other personnel.
This is an act that will destabilize and really shake the foundations of the FBI and its ability to protect Americans for generations.
And the lawsuit was brought by several anonymous FBI employees as a class action complaint. Last week, the acting deputy attorney ordered the firings of 8 senior FBI officials, including those who oversaw cyber, national security, and criminal investigations. And here closer to home this morning, the suspect in the Dodge Inn homicide will undergo inpatient mental evaluation. 44-year-old Anthony Jackson is who we're talking about. He's facing first-degree intentional homicide in the December stabbing death of Alex Graff. Police say Jackson attacked the 31-year-old victim after believing Graff and his friends were laughing at him. A Sparta man faces homicide charges after a fatal crash that killed his passenger. Police say 22-year-old Jeremiah Johnson was drunk when he fled officers Saturday in Columbia County. The high-speed chase ended when he rolled his car on an exit ramp, killing 24-year-old Jaden Fargan. Johnson is being held on a $100,000 cash bond. A Viroqua man faces federal charges for selling guns to Saudi Arabia. Prosecutors say 60-year-old Mark Bushman bought firearms and parts in the U.S., then used eBay to sell them overseas. The operation netting him nearly $400,000. Bushman could face 42 years in prison and $1.5 million in fines. 11 people were evacuated from a Chippewa County apartment fire yesterday. Everybody escaped the 12-unit building off of Highway 124, firefighters say, but 2 were sent to the hospital. The Red Cross now helping displaced residents while investigators search for a cause. Republican lawmakers in Madison proposing requiring local law enforcement to check the citizenship of felony suspects. That proposed bill would require departments to notify ICE if suspects are undocumented or their status can't be confirmed. Critics say it could hamper police work and raise costs, though supporters claim federal funds would cover the program.
Don't want Wisconsin on the hook for this. Therefore, sheriffs shall seek reimbursement from the feds for costs incurred in complying with the retainer.
If passed, departments who refuse to comply with the bill could face a 15% cut of shared revenue. The bill is expected to be introduced next week. Governor Evers already saying he would veto that. And speaking of Governor Evers, he was in town yesterday outlining his $145 million PFAS plan to French Island residents. The 2025 budget proposal includes testing municipal water and private wells, funding statewide PFAS research, and providing emergency clean water. The plan would also protect landowners from cleanup costs.
Now we're taking care of the biggest part, and that is people that didn't create PFAS, but heck, I have PFAS on their land, not because of anything they did. That is important. We'll get, by doing that, I think we can take care of this.
Evers has made multiple attempts to put funding toward communities like French Island. One resident there says living with contaminated water is a daily struggle.
You know, and having to keep moving these water bottles around to get water in the bathroom or to get water here or to get water there. I'm spraying my water in my lawn and dumping PFAS into the lawn. That's going right down into my well again. So, you know, how do you take care of your place when you can't use your water?
Evers' budget proposal will go before state legislators for approval later this month. La Crosse residents now need to buy a permit to use the Isle La Plume waste site. Resident permits cost $25 per vehicle, and contractor access is $1,500 for up to 5. The site is open Mondays and Tuesdays from 10 to 6, weekends from 10 to 4. The yard waste site will open for the season March 24th. And if you're looking for an affordable home, Habitat for Humanity has 5 houses available, 2 in La Crosse and 3 in Hillsborough. They'll select homeowners based on income, ability to make monthly payments, and need for safe housing. You'll need to take pre-purchase classes and volunteer to be eligible. You can learn more at Habitat's upcoming homeowner expos. Visit habitatlacrosse.org/homeownership to learn more or apply. The time now is 5:12. Still ahead on your morning news, Google drops its ban on AI weapons development. Head Start program shutting down nationwide as federal funds run dry, what that means for parents, and the post office stops taking packages from China. Speaking of China, it is hitting back on Trump's tariffs. Coming up, we'll have more on the back and forth between the world's largest 2 economies. And for now, sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Meet nature's most dedicated dads at the London Zoo. 33 tiny Darwin frogs just entered the world. Ooh, moving a lot. These endangered amphibians, that's kind of freaking me out, from Chile are unique. The fathers carry their tadpoles in their vocal sacs until they're ready to hop into life. The zoo hopes these new arrivals will help save their species. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city that invented the fire pole and the bumper sticker, Kansas City, Missouri. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
Attention business owners. Start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait. Our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
Culligan helps you take control of your home's water with the world's most efficient softeners and drinking water systems. Culligan also gives you more control of your wallet with a variety of payment options. For better water and finances that fit, contact your local water expert today.
I didn't know it, but my leg and back pain was coming from my feet. Then my personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm back to the best version of myself.
Get back in the picture. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
The La Crosse Sports Show is back February 6th through 9th.
Be amazed by Sarah Twister, the incredible performer who balances on her arms while shooting a bow and arrow with her feet.
Get grilling tips from Mad Dog and Meryl.
Learn from top fishing and hunting pros with live demos and expert discussions.
Plus, feed parakeets, try your luck in the trout pond,
And get your trophy rack scored for free.
come for the deals, stay for the fun.
February 6th through 9th at the Lacrosse Center.
Your ticket to outdoor adventure awaits at lacrossesportshow.com.
Are you finding bathing and bathroom business has gotten more difficult? Bad hips, bad knees can pose a problem. Just getting up and down can be risky. There is a simple, affordable solution. In just a day or two, you can have a beautiful new walk-in shower, safe and easy to care for with grab bars, a handheld shower, and a seat if you like. Set an appointment with one of our designers to plan your new bath. Better products at lower prices because we care. The Board Store.
Eau Claire's only emergency shelter for domestic violence victims is facing a funding crisis, which could lead to drastic cuts in services. Thursday at 6, how the Bolton Refuge House is hoping to keep emergency care available and what might happen to those it serves if they can't.
Well, good morning to you and happy Wednesday. Dry and cool this morning, getting into cloudier skies as we go later into the afternoon. Slight chance of snow is in the afternoon as well, with the evening to tonight, getting into the evening all the way into the overnight hours to tomorrow, actually. We see some snow, some ice, and some fog, and that'll work through the forecast here. As you can see, starting out with this big plume of moisture kind of stretching all the way into Canada, and then circling back, giving us a northeasterly flow. We'll also see a mix of rain and snow on the way. You can see by Rapid City working its way towards Omaha as well. That's headed our way. Current temperatures for you right now, -3 to at least 3 degrees in Eau Claire. You get to Winona at 9 degrees. La Crosse is at 7 degrees right now. Sparta, Black River Falls in the low to about 2 to 3 miles per hour, at least in the cold out there, holding on right there. Holding on to Wednesday, though, we're getting into highs about 22 to about, say, 32 to 33 degrees today. We'll go into the early afternoon with a slight chance of snow working in the forecast. That continues all the way to the 3 o'clock, lifting northward. Once we get in the 5 o'clock hour going to the 7 o'clock hour, we've got snow potential. So between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, this is when the snow and wintry mix starts to work in the area. Snow is mostly to the north, and then we see it over by Eau Claire as well. Then it starts to pick up with the light snow as we go into La Crosse, extending all the way into portions down to the south by Prairie du Chien. By 11 o'clock, we're all in the mix. Widespread snow headed up. Most of the accumulation is up to there. Then once we get into the 3 to 4 o'clock hour in the morning, all the way into sunrise, we see that kind of ending out. We got some fog, a low cloud activity, and ice on the roadways to start your day. Feels like temperatures out there right now. Feels like it's -4 to 3, all the way to 7 degrees. Holding on to Sky Tracker, you'll see this as I finish out eventually. By the morning hours, by sunrise, we're looking at 0 to at least 14 degrees out there. Back to you.
In your morning consumer news, Google quietly dropping its AI weapons ban. The tech giant removed promises not to use artificial intelligence for weapons or surveillance. The original policy found on Internet Archives explicitly banned AI for weapons and surveillance beyond international norms. The move marking a major shift from Google's initial AI principles. And some low-income parents are left scrambling for childcare after Trump's Head Start funding freeze. 40 programs across 20 states remain cut off from those federal dollars. At least 2 locations have had to close, while others stay open through local funding or loans. The National Head Start Association says the freeze affects services for children from birth to age 5. And the Postal Service will stop taking packages from China effective today. While letters will still flow, parcels from China and Hong Kong are suspended indefinitely. The move follows Trump's order ending duty-free shipping under $800, which could hit retailers like Shein and Temu. And speaking of China, it is hitting back on those tariffs from President Trump. The back and forth between the world's 2 largest economies could put the American consumer in the middle. Karen Kaifa is in Washington with those details.
After Mexico and Canada negotiated respective 30-day pauses on President Donald Trump's proposed 25% tariffs on their goods coming into the U.S.
We've found a good, I think, accommodation here, and we're going to be showing progress over the next 30 days.
Trump's 10% tariff on all goods coming to the U.S. from China took effect after midnight on Tuesday, and Beijing pushed back with tariffs on some U.S. energy and metals imports. The move's elevating trade tensions between the world's two largest economies, and eventually the American consumer could get caught in the middle.
I think it's a lose-lose. It's just a question of how big the loss. It raises prices, raises inflation, and of course, we've been through a very wrenching period globally with high inflation. It's been a real problem.
Among items that could see higher prices, consumer electronics like phones, TVs, and computers, toys, jewelry, silverware, and sporting equipment, and shoes and sneakers imported in large numbers from China. The real impact will be felt once businesses deplete their current warehouse stock and need to bring in more, unless the U.S. and China strike a deal soon. Democrats note that tariffs don't align with the economic relief Trump promised in his 2024 campaign.
Tariffs will undoubtedly drive up costs. You shared some of those numbers earlier, and people are living paycheck to paycheck. This is the opposite of what Trump ran on and what the American people want.
That was a quick look at your consumer news. We'll send it over now to Art. He has a look at our forecast.
Alrighty, we'll get this into a second here. I just want to show you as we go into it here. I'm going to bump this out of the way so you can see this here. Yeah, there we go. We're looking at cloudy skies eventually as we get deeper into the afternoon today. Slight chance of snow is in the forecast for this afternoon. We've seen this before where there's a chance and you're looking and you're like, oh, he said it was going to be coming in around, say, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But it's mostly the clouds that are increasing. That's why we're going to be getting the potential for that. So it's a slight chance. Most of that snow today and the wintry mix is coming in the evening hours through evening commute and continuing on as we go through the evening and overnight tonight and into the morning for tomorrow. This is what's going to happen. We go through the day today. By sunrise, you're looking at, again, 0 to at least 14 degrees. Then we'll see by the time we get into 10 o'clock, clouds are gradually increasing, taking us to partly to mostly cloudy skies. Then we get in the 2 o'clock hour. We have a slight chance of snow working in the forecast. You see that moving up to at least the north, getting by Eau Claire as well, then extending northward with that big rise of ridging here. We'll also see as we get a wintry mix going into the 8 o'clock hour. So between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, that wintry mix starts to move around La Crosse as well as Eau Claire. Up to the north, that's mostly accumulating snow. You'll see that all the way down to Prairie du Chien as well. Then once we go into the 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock hour, we're seeing most of that snow up to the north. Eau Claire is now still in the wintry mix. We have the light mix all the way down to Prairie du Chien as well from La Crosse and extending all the way to the east now, and that continues on. And that will continue all the way over into the overnight hours until we get at least into the morning for tomorrow. The snow you can see picks up by 5 o'clock and then ramps up as we go into the evening and overnight hours, taking it into the morning for sunrise tomorrow. Eventually, you're going to be seeing at least maybe 2 to about 4 inches of snow in some cases. All the way up by Ladysmith and above, you'll see some higher amounts up there, possibly up to 5 to 6 inches. But down to the south here, we're holding on to maybe an inch, maybe or less, working all the way down into Prairie du Chien, where you may see maybe just a trace. But the thing is, ice and snow is going to be sticking around. As we go into it, you're going to be seeing more of this ice kind of working in the forecast as we get into it, and most of that's going to be sticking around, mostly around La Crosse, getting down to Prairie du Chien as well, and Eau Claire. Highs for Wednesday, well, we're looking at least maybe 22 to about, say, 33 degrees out there. We'll still hold on to mostly cloudy skies in the morning, but giving way to more sunshine to finish out your day. You'll also see that again as you go right into the highs for tomorrow. You're seeing that there, and then eventually we go into how this all plays out. You're looking at some 20s, not much in the way of snow on the ground, as you can see here on the maps for these areas here. We'll go down to the south zone. You're still holding on to potential for a slight chance getting into the daytime, back into the central zone, and then back to the north zone. It is still a slight chance of snow working into your forecast. So what I've got going on for you as we go into today, 32 degrees today. Snow and ice is a slight chance, but it's mostly in the PM, coming back with cloudier skies. Tomorrow we have some roadways with a little bit of ice on the roads, getting into windy conditions going into Friday, and then by Saturday, that's a new batch of snow where we could see possibly at least 3 to 7 inches of snow on the way. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Art. Still to come, if you think your kids spend too much time on their phones, researchers say they think that you should think that you might be part of the problem. We'll have those details after the break.
Coming up next in the Blitz, no room for error in a tight MVC boys basketball conference. A battle between the Hilltoppers and Blue Golds. That plus some wrestling action between a couple of the area's best after this.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
We see you out there, giving your whole heart to what you do.
that doesn't mean you have to give your whole wallet, too. It's why we make sure that as you find your way, you can find value along the way. Like a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $75 on Purina dog food, cat food, litter, and treats. Live your best lives together with quality nutrition and supplies from Purina.
That's what I'm talking about.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Signs build brands, create impact, and grab attention. Signorama Lacrosse is your full-service sign center. We use the latest technology and highest quality products to produce custom signs, vehicle wraps, banners, wall murals, window graphics, and trade show displays. Signorama Lacrosse Design Services will help create the perfect sign to advertise your product or business. We can custom make any type of sign, including box signs, channel letters, custom logos, digital graphics, and directory signs. Signorama Lacrosse, locally owned, globally known.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Hi, I'm Sammy, and this is my sister Ruthie, and we're here to invite you to the boat show at American Marine.
Whether you're a seasoned boater or new to the water, we have the perfect boat for your family, all under one roof. And we promise you won't have to listen to my dad's bad jokes.
Hey, Reds, why don't fish play basketball? Because they're afraid of the nets.
American Marine, where we're serious about family fun, so let's go boating.
As head of criminal appeals, Susan Crawford had one job: keep a convicted rapist behind bars. Yet Crawford didn't bother filing the appeal in time, letting the rapist walk free. The victim, already scarred beyond measure, called Crawford's negligence utterly disgusting. Traumatized by Crawford's disregard for justice, her criminal coddling record is an injustice to us all.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
The Blitz. Well, coming into last night, 3 teams in the boys MVC standings had 2 losses. Onalaska had 3, so no room for error in a conference that has shown anything can happen. Hilltoppers handed the Blue Golds their first loss of the season back on January 14th. Anna up at 6 at the break, but Aquinas took it to a new gear after the intermission. Calvin barred a Trey bar for 2, then it's Trey getting to the rack with an acrobatic finish. Home side just down 1. Toppers then searching for some offense. Brendan Chenault fights through contact, gets the shot to go off the glass, but the Bar Boys put the team on their back last night. Off the swat from Finley Strom, it's Calvin Soren for the score right here to extend Aquinas' lead. Then the ball's gonna get swung around. It'll end up in finding number 1's hands again, bottom. Aquinas defends their home court with an impressive victory over Onalaska. Aquinas' next opponent, Central, on the road against West Salem. First half, it's Kyle Haley doing Kyle Haley things for the Panthers. Triple try is good. He had 22 to lead all scorers. Back and forth first half, teams trading buckets on each end. Will Schilling buries one from beyond the arc, so the away side goes up 3. Next possession, more success from the outside. Tyson Labus' shot is pure, so we're back to tie. Then Nathan Carr is going to get in the passing lane. He'll split the Central players and glide to the cup for the deuce. But how about those Riverhawks? They're playing some good basketball lately. They pick up their 3rd win in a row, taking on the Panthers by 7. Well, they've got the 3rd annual Pin Down for Hunger Wrestling Duel. Holman Vikings hosting GET Melman Titans. Over $3,500 raised to Holman's Hope and Holman Area Food Pantry. Kicking things off at 165, it was Gunnar Johnson for the Titans starting strong. First period pin, GT Melman goes up 6, but the Vikings would immediately answer at 175. Jonathan Lamprick locks the cradle, and that man is stuck, so we're all tied at 6. Later in the duel, D2's number 2 wrestler Colton Koss makes quick work at 120, pick up the pin in less than 30 seconds. So that pulls the Titans within 2, but after that, it was all Holman. At 126, Nathan Henderson, he may be a freshman, but he was showing off the muscle, converts a cradle to a fall as the Vikings go on to win at 56-20. And some great work by the communities to come together and raise some money for some good causes. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Where's the best place for local fresh quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef for $5.79 per pound or 85% lean for $5.39 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
Your mom got a new tractor? Yep. Can't she see in the dark? Can do. Hook up all the implements? Can do. Steer with ease? Can do. Bale hay all day? Can do. Shift like a race car? Can do. I'm out of here.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
Attention business owners, start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait, our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
It's the President's Week sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, a huge store-wide event. Shop now for big sale prices, 24-month financing, and free gas just for shopping Drury's. Only at Drury's will you find the biggest brands like Canadel, FlexSteel, Stressless, and La-Z-Boy, plus a design team to help you pull it all together. Great sale prices, 24-month financing, and free gas. Now during the President's Week sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Family-owned for 100 years.
Get ready for the big game with Spectrum. Welcome more excitement into your home as you enjoy the best TV streaming experience. Spectrum brings your entire family together with the fastest, most reliable internet so everyone can enjoy all the sports and entertainment they love. Cheer on all your favorite players on football's biggest night. With the touch of a button, Spectrum puts you at the center of it all so you never miss a play. Get in the game and save with Spectrum Internet Premier for only $30 per month when bundled, plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-877-959-1722.
Red 25.
You're going down.
It's a hut.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
I'm open.
Go deep.
Because you'll feel totally protected.
We're number 1.
Also, your family can pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Where's the best place for local fresh quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef for $5.79 per pound or 85% lean for $5.39 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
News 8 Now Sports. Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
In your morning medical news, the Trump administration is now being sued over its new gender-affirming care rules. That comes after the president signed an executive order called Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation, which allows federal agencies to deny federal funding to any institution that provided gender-affirming medical care for people under age 19. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of a group of transgender adults and teens along with their families. And if you're telling your kids to put down their phones, you might want to check your own screen time first. A study finds that children are mimicking their parents' phone habits, leading to more mature content consumption. Kids whose parents are glued to screens are more likely to watch R-rated movies and play mature video games. While researchers admit phones are here to stay, they say setting family limits could help break the cycle. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death, and while early detection can save lives, experts say many of those eligible for screening don't get it. Mandy Gaither explains who should be tested and talks to a lung cancer survivor about why she says a billboard saved her life.
For months, Denise Lee passed a billboard that caught her eye. It said, "Saved by the Scan," advocating for people to be screened for lung cancer.
I smoked for 40 years, and so I consider myself high risk.
Lee says she didn't know about low-dose CT scans, a simple x-ray that takes multiple pictures of the lungs with little radiation. It takes only a few minutes, and there's no pain. After advocating for herself at the doctor, she was screened.
My primary care physician called me, and she said, yeah, they found a spot. Actually a tumor.
It was cancer, but Lee says because of the screening, the disease was caught early before it spread.
I always say that the billboard saved my life because literally that's what happened.
The American Lung Association says low-dose CT scans can reduce the lung cancer death rate by up to 20%, but only about 16% of those eligible for it in 2022 actually got tested. Anyone between the ages of 50 and 80 who smokes now or has quit within the past 15 years and has a 20-pack year or more smoking history should be screened.
You multiply the number of packs per year by the number of years you smoke. So 1 pack per day times 20 years is 20 pack years.
Dr. Bobby Mahajan says in recent years, the 5-year lung cancer survival rate has improved, but the earlier the disease is detected, the chances of survival significantly increase.
Lung cancer is effective and it can save lives.
And if you are interested in seeing if you qualify for that low-dose CT scan, you can take a quiz by visiting the American Lung Cancer Association's website. You see that on your screen here, savedbythescan.org. UWL made the top 10 in Wisconsin's best colleges list for 2024 to 25, the university ranking number 9 out of 34 listed schools by Research.com. They looked at everything from tuition to acceptance rate and graduation. Wisconsin is home to 40 colleges and universities. And a new ramen noodles restaurant is opening in La Crosse. Ichido Ramen will take over part of the former Faze's space. The Minnesota-based chain has locations in the Midwest and West Coast. We've reached out for an opening date, but we're waiting to hear back. And on Rosa Parks' birthday yesterday, La Crosse offered free bus rides to honor her legacy. Local candidates and city leaders marked Transit Equity Day by riding MTU buses with residents, highlighting the push for accessible public transportation.
Everybody has the right to participate in their community, and public transportation should not be a hurdle for somebody to be able to participate in their community, whether it is employment, medical, recreation, whatever the reason being.
And if you'd like to ride for free today, the Smart Bus is offering complimentary rides on routes connecting Prairie du Chien, Viroqua, and Tomah to La Crosse. Just show the event flyer on your phone or bring a printed copy. Imagine crossing an ocean and a continent, then climbing more than 19,000 feet above sea level and finding something from your hometown. David Schumann met a Minnesota man who has the pics to prove it.
You start looking around and taking it all in that, you almost feel like you're on Mars.
And the pictures obviously don't do it justice.
Not at all.
Brian King watched the sunrise at the summit of Africa's Mount Kilimanjaro last month. It's the 4th tallest mountain in the world, literally above the clouds.
It was emotional because you put in all this time, you've heard many things about that specific mountain, and then to see the sign at the top that says congratulations, you are at the tallest point of a freestanding mountain in Africa, it takes it out of you.
Guides helped Brian and 3 of his buddies make the climb over the course of a week. Perhaps the most shocking thing he saw, though, came before reaching the summit.
It broke my brain.
A man walking by from Tanzania, working on the mountain, carrying gear and supplies, had a very familiar t-shirt on.
He was wearing the Simley Spartans track and field shirt. Couldn't speak a lick of English, but I was like, sir, I need to see this, and he just held up the 2 thumbs up and he gave me the photo.
Brian's alma mater in Inver Grove Heights, popping up 8,275 miles across the globe.
And I was like, no way. Just the smallest world. This doesn't compute. Mentally, just did not make sense to me.
That little piece of home was like the cherry on top of an experience Brian says meant more than just a cool thing to do.
It was about just setting a goal. I got sober a year ago and wanted to set something that would be a little more challenging. I've done other mountains, but nothing quite at that altitude.
Next stop, Everest?
Absolutely not. I thought about it, and it is miserable.
Well, hey, Kilimanjaro's pretty good in its own right.
Amazing photos for sure. We'll send it over now to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He has a look at our morning commute.
All right, let's take it into how this all shakes out for today. We're going to hold on to the possibility of at least some snow and rainfall coming in as we go deeper into the latter portion of the afternoon and early evening hours for your evening commute. You take a look right now, it's really building as you go over Billings as well as Bismarck. We've got this continuing to lift up, and it's going to ramp down. Some of that's going to come back around on top of us here. As we get into it here, you're also looking at the mix of rain and snow by Rapid City. That too is also increasing going towards the Twin Cities, and that's going to be headed back down, heading our way going towards La Crosse, Eau Claire, as well as working down to our southern stretch. We also have another batch of that down to the south going through Iowa. All right, that being said, highs today in the 20s and the 30s. Mild conditions going into with more clouds increasing on us. We'll have snow and a wintry mix on the way. Snow, freezing drizzle, and of course ice tonight with fog on the way behind that, mostly down to the south by Prairie du Chien getting into Richland. You'll hold on to current temperatures in the -5 to, I'd say, -7 to about -14, or at least 14 degrees once you get into the forecast. How it feels on your skin, -3 to at least -4 getting into areas right by Viroqua. Once we get into it today, though, you're looking at the forecast for La Crosse holding on to snow coming in around the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock hour into your evening commute. Back to you. All right, so we have this, the music world has helped raise more than $120 million in wildfire aid. We'll have more on last night's fire aid concert and where the money will go coming up.
When you've trusted your personal injury case to Bygoff and Rohde, you're going to feel the weight of the world off your shoulders. You have to concern yourself with getting to the doctor and trying to get better. We'll do everything else. And that's how we get results for our clients.
We're starting the new year with our biggest sale of the year at Interior Designs Holman. All our carpets are on sale, so you'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimating at your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
T-Mobile keeps you connected on America's largest and fastest 5G network. And right now, get 4 free smartphones and 4 lines for $25 per line when you switch. It's better over here.
Welcome to Hazel and Lola's Kitchen Boutique, your new go-to for all things gourmet and kitchen chic. From artisanal cookware to unique gourmet ingredients, we've got everything to inspire your inner chef. Discover our exclusive collection of kitchen gadgets, quality knives, and delicious culinary delights. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a home cooking enthusiast, Hazel and Lola's is here to elevate your kitchen game. Hazel and Lola's, located inside Wesco and Sparta. Stop in today and tell them Peyton sent you.
As head of criminal appeals, Susan Crawford had one job: keep a convicted rapist behind bars. Yet Crawford didn't bother filing the appeal in time, letting the rapist walk free. The victim, already scarred beyond measure, called Crawford's negligence utterly disgusting. Traumatized by Crawford's disregard for justice, her criminal coddling record is an injustice to us all.
After you've been injured in an accident, life becomes chaotic. You have doctor's appointments, medical bills, insurance adjusters harassing you to settle your claim. When you call Bygoff and Rohde, we take care of it all. We get results.
Well, good morning to you. Let's get you started. Mild conditions expected later on today. We're going to start off a little bit on the chillier side, though, this early morning. Once we get into the afternoon, though, we'll start to see clouds increase to mostly cloudy to partly cloudy, mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. And a wintry mix will start to ensue as we get into the evening commute, especially for La Crosse. Eau Claire could maybe see this as we get deeper into the late portion or latter portion of your evening hours, I should say, of your afternoon. Take a look here what I've got going on for you. Here's the planner. We're increasing the clouds gradually through mid-morning to mostly cloudy skies. Then eventually we'll get into cloudier skies once we get into the 1 o'clock hour for La Crosse, extending into cloudy skies going into the 5 o'clock hour as well, where you're seeing snow potential working into the forecast. Now, as that happens, we'll also see as we get into it here, holding on to increasing clouds with more of that cloud cover coming in for the 1 o'clock hour for Eau Claire. You're picking up possibly snow and rain, slight chances coming in for the 3 o'clock hour, but by the evening, you'll start to see that snow moving into the picture, turning into light snow, then it becomes a wintry mix. So that means we're going to be seeing this cloudy skies, as I mentioned before, with an evening, a mix of snow and rain and ice and, of course, fog coming into the overnight hours. Most of the snow is going to be well up to the northern tier of Wisconsin. You can see right now most of that's kind of on the way. As we get into the highs today, I've got it at mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance of snow working in the forecast from at least 22 to about 34 degrees. Now, that being said, we'll see the clouds gradually increase as we get right into it. Once we go into the afternoon hours, you're going to be seeing a slight chance of snow working from La Crosse all the way to Eau Claire. That's not possibly, maybe not get on the ground, but once we get into the evening hours, that's when we get into the mix here. Wintry mix here for Eau Claire, as well as a wintry, lighter wintry mix going for La Crosse all the way down to Prairie du Chien. The accumulating snow is up to the north, getting around Ladysmith and northward, where they're going to see the highest accumulations. And that continues to go through the 11 o'clock hour all the way to the overnight hours, the wee hours in the morning with that wintry mix. This is when we're going to start to see the fog down by Prairie du Chien and start to have that get all the way up to Richland as well. And then eventually by the 5 o'clock hour, it all begins to track east out of the area. So we have a morning commute possibility of some icy roadways and snow accumulation up to the north as you get by Eau Claire as well as in Ladysmith. That being said, take it into how this all plays out. We'll see the snow amounts coming in. You'll get into the overnight hours, and tomorrow you're looking at least maybe 4 to 8 inches of snow. So we're looking at possibly maybe about 3 to 7 inches up by Ladysmith, maybe about 1 to about 3 inches of snow by Eau Claire, extending down to the south as you get into Black River Falls, maybe at least a half an inch to an inch or so. Everybody else gets a lot less, getting under an inch of snow. As we go into highs for Thursday, you're looking at 23 or so, all the way down to about 36 degrees under sunnier skies after a cloudy morning. Then snow comes back again for Saturday. We may even see a weather alert day for that day, continuing on as we go into Sunday morning. The highs for today, well, we're looking at 32 today, 29 for tomorrow. We'll get into mild conditions again for Friday, turning into more snow with a 90% chance carrying over into Sunday early morning. And of course, we've got colder conditions for next week.
The music world helped raise more than $120 million to benefit those affected by the LA wildfires. The Fire Aid concert last week is on track to bring in more than $100 million. The rest of the money came during the Grammy ceremony over the weekend and at events before. The money raised will go to several organizations, including the California Community Foundation. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is back. After more than 2 decades, a reboot of the beloved Supernatural franchise is officially in the works, with Sarah Michelle Gellar set to return as Buffy. This new project will not center around Buffy, but a new Slayer. The project is currently untitled and is nearing a pilot order at Hulu.
You know, this is all really intense, but I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm really sorry about this. I really am.
Hurry Up Tomorrow is the film debut of Abel Tesfaye, better known as The Weeknd. He plays a musician with insomnia who begins to unravel the very core of his existence. He co-wrote the script for the film. It arrives in theaters in May.
I will not be afraid of death and bane. Till Burnham Forest come to Dunsany.
A Turbulent Tale is in theaters now. Macbeth, filmed for the big screen during its run at London's John Moore Warehouse. David Tennant and Cush Jumbo star in Shakespeare's classic tale of ambition, violence, and guilt. And it's time for today's Look Who's 8.
All right, sadly, we don't have any birthdays to celebrate with you.
But if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We've got everything you need to know coming up in 5 minutes or less.
Wow, Forest Berry Fudge is amazing. This is melting in my mouth.
Dill pickle? Whoa, that's actually good.
Holy fudge. This is the best thing ever.
Expressions brought to you by Valley Fudge and Candy. Find us in Coon Valley, Wisconsin, or order online today.
No cash, no problem. Head to Wesco One Sparta and get up to 48 months to pay interest-free on all the hot new furniture you want. Looking to level up your space? We've got you covered with recliners, sofas, bedroom sets, and dining furniture. All available with 0 interest for up to 48 months. Don't wait. Upgrade your home today and swing by Wesco One Sparta. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Tell them Peyton sent you.
Hi, I'm Sammy, and this is my sister Ruthie, and we're here to invite you to the boat show at American Marine.
Whether you're a seasoned boater or new to the water, we have the perfect boat for your family, all under one roof. And we promise you won't have to listen to my dad's bad jokes.
Hey Reds, why don't fish play basketball? Because they're afraid of the nets.
American Marine, where we're serious about family fun, so let's go boating.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Waterworks. For more than 30 years, American Waterworks has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
Eau Claire's only emergency shelter for domestic violence victims is facing a funding crisis, which could lead to drastic cuts in services. Thursday at 6, how the Bolton Refuge House is hoping to keep emergency care available and what might happen to those it serves if they can't.
Welcome back. It's 5:51. Time for your morning news now. The suspect in the Dudodge Inn homicide will undergo inpatient mental evaluation. 44-year-old Anthony Jackson faces first-degree intentional homicide in the stabbing death of Alex Graff. Police say Jackson attacked the 31-year-old victim after believing Graff and his friends were laughing at him. 11 people were evacuated from a Chippewa County apartment yesterday. Everyone escaped the 12-unit building fire off of Highway 124. 2 people were sent to the hospital. The investigation is ongoing. Republican lawmakers in Madison proposing requiring local law enforcement to check the citizenship of felony suspects. That proposed bill would require departments to notify ICE if suspects are undocumented or their status can't be confirmed. Critics say it could hamper police work and raise costs. Supporters claim federal funds would cover the program.
Don't want Wisconsin on the hook for this. Therefore, sheriffs shall seek reimbursement from the feds for costs incurred in complying with the retainer.
Governor Evers said he would veto the bill. The Senate appears set to confirm Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as health secretary after a narrow committee vote. The 14-13 party line approval came despite vaccine concerns from Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, a physician. Meanwhile, Tulsi Gabbard's nomination for intelligence director also advancing. Pam Bondi has won confirmation as Attorney General. Governor Tony Evers outlining his $145 million PFAS plan to French Island residents. The 2025 budget proposal includes testing municipal water and private wells, funding statewide PFAS research, and providing emergency clean water, as well as protecting landowners from cleanup costs.
Now we're taking care of the biggest part, and that is people that didn't create PFAS, but I have PFAS on their land, not because of anything they did. That is important. We'll get, by doing that, I think we can take care of this.
Governor Evers has made several efforts to allocate funding for communities affected by PFAS like French Island. On Rosa Parks' birthday yesterday, La Crosse offered free bus rides to honor her legacy. Local candidates and city leaders marked Transit Equity Day by riding MTU buses with residents, highlighting the push for accessible public transportation.
Everybody has the right to participate in their community, and public transportation should not be a hurdle for somebody to be able to participate in their community, whether it is employment, medical, recreation, whatever the reason being.
If you'd like to ride for free today, the Smart Bus is offering complimentary rides on routes connecting Prairie du Chien, Viroqua, and Tomah to La Crosse. Just show the event flyer or bring a copy on your phone.
The possibility of a slight chance of snow working into the evening hours, or I should say the late afternoon to early evening hours. There is a look right there, maybe up to an inch or so up to the north. But then again, as once we go into the overnight hours, of course, we're going to be seeing some heavier snow amounts coming into fruition for our ground accumulation. Take a look at this as we get into it. 32 degrees today, 29 tomorrow. So above seasonal averages going into the weekend with more snow with a 90% chance. That's going to be about 3 to 7 inches of snow, possibly to the ground. Colder going into next week.
Thank you, Art. They help us plan our days and keep us safe. Art, what are you doing up there?
I don't know.
During storms today, we're celebrating our weather team. It's National Weather Person's Day, honoring everyone from TV meteorologists to behind-the-scenes forecasters at the National Weather Service. The day marks the birthday of John Jeffries, America's first weather observer, born 281 years ago today. You can show some love to your favorite forecaster on social media using the hashtag WeatherPersonsDay. What are you going to do with this day to honor yourself, Art?
Stay home, stay off the roadways, and be safe.
All right, that is what a weather person would say. Happy Weather Person's Day, Art.
Thank you, Alexandra. Appreciate that.
And thank you for joining us this morning. We're coming right back at 6. We will have more information for you, including the U.S. Department of Education investigating allegations of anti-Semitism at the University of Minnesota. We'll have those details for you and how the university is responding.
In a stunning announcement from the White House, President Donald Trump said the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip. I'm Naomi Ruckham with the implications of this unconventional plan for the future of the Middle East and reaction pouring in worldwide.